Should I remove contingencies to get my offer accepted? Can I even get into a contract if I keep my contingencies? These are the questions we get from our buyers in today's market. Hey, I'm Rose Gonzalez with the Gonzalez Real Estate team, and my goal is to give you as much information on the home buying process so that when you're ready to make that move, you know what to expect and that you are prepared so that the home buying process can be a great experience for you and your family. In this video, we're going to talk about what contingencies are, what they mean, and whether you should keep them or remove them. Let's start with what contingencies are. There are 3 contingencies on a purchase contract, and on a California contract, they're on the second page. As you can see here, there's an appraisal contingency, the loan contingency, and the buyer's inspection. Let's start with the buyer's inspection. This is a time period where you as a buyer will want to find out as much as you can about the home. You'll want to make sure to look at all the disclosures that the seller will provide and order any inspections if there has not been any already provided. Sometimes the sellers will provide seller disclosures and inspections prior to finding a buyer, but sometimes, depending on the area you're buying in, the seller will provide their disclosures after they find a buyer, and then the buyers will typically order the inspection for the home. If you're ordering inspections, I always recommend home, termite, and roof inspections. The home inspection goes into all the details of the home. They check all the electrical panels, they make sure that the water heater is braced correctly, they check to see if the toilets or any door handles are loose. Are the appliances working? Is the AC and heating working? They'll also check to see if there are any hazards around the property, like if there's a crack on the concrete, will that concrete cause any tripping hazards? Or if a patio needs railing. So it goes into a lot of details. The termite inspection looks at any termite infestation or dry rot. They will note things that need to be done sooner than later, and those are usually called Section 1. Things that can cause issues later that doesn't need to be fixed right away will be noted in Section 2. Typically, in a normal market, at least here in California, the buyers can negotiate with the sellers to fix or credit them for Section 1 items on the credit report. Now, in super hot seller markets, sometimes buyers are just purchasing the home as is. You'll need to talk to your realtor about what the findings are, and they can help you negotiate on these items. The roof inspection is something we usually order as well. They will note the life remaining on the roof and if there are any areas that need to be replaced. Like if the roof is tile. Tile cracks very easily, so they'll know if there are any broken or cracked tiles, and they'll give you the amount it will cost to fix it. As I mentioned earlier, you'll want to review the disclosures the sellers provide. The sellers will typically do a transfer disclosure statement and a seller's property questionnaire. These 2 disclosures are very important for you to review. This will tell you everything the sellers know about the home. If they have done updates, the last time they've painted the home, if there's a sprinkler system on the property, has there been any floods, have you filed an insurance claim on the home, and if there's anyone that's passed away in the home. The sellers must disclose anything and everything they know about the home in these 2 documents. There will also be other disclosures like the natural hazard disclosures, earthquake, lead-based paint, etc. You'll want to make sure to read through all these as well and ask your realtor if you have any questions. Another disclosure you'll want to review is if the home is within a homeowners association. The homeowners association has a set of rules you'll have to follow. All homeowners associations are very different. You'll want to take a look at the bylaws and the CC&Rs. There will be things like if you're doing any major changes to the front yard, sometimes HOAs may require you to submit plans for approval. There are some HOAs that require you not to park cars on the sidewalk if your driveway has parking available. So make sure you read through the rules. If there's anything during this inspection period that you find and decide to back out of your contract, as long as you're within your buyer's inspection contingency, you can back out of the contract without the risk of losing your earnest money deposit. You'll also want to review the preliminary title report, and this will show you if there's any existing liens on the home. So buyer's inspection covers not only property inspections, but making sure you're okay with disclosures and the other documents provided. The appraisal contingency is giving you a time frame in which you and your lender can order a third party to come out and give you the value on the home based on their findings. This will need to be sent to the underwriter for review. If the home does not appraise at the purchase price stated on the offer, the lender will not lend to that amount. So let's say you're buying a house for $700,000 and it only appraised at $690,000. Your lender will use the $690,000 as the purchase price, and you'll have a few options. You can go back and renegotiate with the sellers about bringing the price down to the appraised value, or if you're in a very competitive market and you have the extra funds, you can pay this appraisal gap of $10,000 with your own funds. Or you can back out of the contract. Now, if you back out of the contract, as long as you're within your appraisal contingency, you're able to back out without losing your earnest money deposit. Now let's talk about loan contingency. This ties into your ability to get financing for your new home. A good example to share with you about the importance of a loan contingency is when the pandemic first started and things got shut down. There are many people who couldn't go to work, so the lenders were unable to give them loans because at the end of the transaction before closing, the lender actually has to verify employment. So as you can see, during the pandemic, this caused a whole lot of problems for those whose companies had to shut down during that time, and therefore were not able to verify employment. Another example of where the loan contingency will help you is like what we're experiencing right now with interest rates. Interest rates have gone up 1% in the last couple months. If this interest rate increase prevents you from qualifying for your loan and the lender can't close, you'll then be at risk of losing your deposit if you've removed your loan contingency. So now you know what the risks are about removing contingencies to get your offers accepted. You can talk with your realtor and your lender more about it and whether or not it's a good idea for you to remove these contingencies. If the property already has inspections and disclosures available before the offer due date and everything checks out on the home, then by all means talk to your realtor about removing the buyer's inspection contingency. What's really important is that you as a buyer know what the risks are when removing your contingencies and what it really means. I met someone who removed their buyer's inspection contingency thinking that it was only tied to the home termite and roof inspection, and then their agent removed all their contingencies except for the loan and appraisal. Well, when they received the HOA docs and found out that they did not allow for short-term rentals, well, she was unable to get out of contract because of the HOA rules without risking her deposit. So have an open conversation and ask as many questions as you can about the property to your realtor and make sure you feel comfortable with the terms you guys are putting in your contract. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions about the home buying process, please make sure to comment below or shoot me a message and I'd be happy to help. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, give a little love to that subscribe button and don't forget to click on the notification button as well so that you'll always know when we come out with a new video. Thanks for watching.